Warning: Alan and JJ Johnson are not professional comedians. During this program, you will be exposed to unfiltered dad jokes in their most potent and raw form, dads telling them to each other. Watching this video may lead to serious physical harm, including facepalm concussions, head-shaking whiplash, and uncontrollable groaning. Proceed at your own risk.
Hey everybody, I'm Alan.
And I'm JJ.
And this is Two Dads and a Joke. And we're here to give you a six-pack of dad jokes with a little shot of parenting advice. And so, JJ, when it comes to the dad jokes, I've got a theme, because we're supposed to be teaching our kids stuff. That's what we're talking about, and learning and all that. Did you know that I have a degree in physics?
Really?
Yeah. So I learned a lot of smart, sciencey stuff. So my jokes this week are going to be all sciencey. So I got a good one for you. Why don't you look directly at a laser?
I'm afraid to ask, but why?
You'll go blind.
Oh, God.
Wasn't that joke enlightening?
Oh, man. Okay. Enlightening. All right, so anyway, I'm keeping with my Christmas theme on these things. So, what do you get when Santa accidentally goes down a chimney when the fire is lit?
I don't know. What do you get when Santa goes down the chimney when the fire's lit?
Crisps Kringle.
Crisp Kringle. I love it.
There you go.
So, everybody, welcome to December. We're looking at we don't have, this isn't exactly a Christmas episode, although I think he's got some good Christmas jokes going on here. We obviously, from the courtyard background here, I'm not quite ready for the season yet. But to let you know, JJ and I are both authors. I'm writing the Towers of Light series, and JJ, he's got some work.
Yes, I am currently I'm the author of the Iggy and Oz middle grade series, and I am, hopefully by the time this airs, I will have book 3 wrapped up as Iggy and Oz the Living Snot. And I'm hoping, Alan, I can get both Iggy and Oz the Soda Pop Wars and Iggy and Oz the Living Snot released in 2020, one in June and one in October, so we'll see.
Well, you know what's amazing is I am going to try to release 2 books in next year too. So I think you've upped my game, and it's getting a big deal. So in theory, I'm doing Still Small Voice, book 2 in my series in July 23rd was the day I came up with today. And then sometime around the 1st of November, book 4, Fear No Evil, will come out, or book 3. And I found out this last month while I was working on the NaNoWriMo that I have at least 4 books in the series because it just kept going on and on and on. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. So, we're keeping on this theme of math, and there's a lot of countdowns and stuff in launching books, right? So let me ask, this one out on the Twitter, that's a big part of our book launches, right? We do Twitter and Facebook and all that. So here's a good one from Twitter, from @NorthernOvation. When do mathematicians go to church?
I don't know. When do they go to church?
On Sundays.
What?
I gotta say that it just fit. It
did. It fit perfectly. These
are all going to be that bad. I'm just warning you right now.
All right. Well, I'm a horrible mechanic. Okay. And the other day, my door handle popped off on my car.
Oh no.
Yeah, it just did. And I thought, I wish I could put something on here. And it got me thinking about Christmas and things like that. And elves. And, do you know what kind of a car elves drive?
What kind of a car do elves drive?
Toyotas.
A Toyota. Nice.
Anyway, that was a bad one.
Yeah, well, it's we're just about done with fall. Winter's coming along at a rapid clip here. But, why do the leaves, this is a science question for you here, why do leaves start to fall in October?
I've always been curious. Why?
It's automatic. It doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. These are the best.
All right.
Okay, so we're supposed to be talking about 3 things. We're supposed to have 3 things that we want our kids to know that if they learned this, it'd be great. And so we're gonna do this kind of lightning round back and forth. And so I think the first thing that I hope I've instilled in my kids more than anything else is this idea of grit. And so if you look it up, there's some TED Talks, there's a lot of stuff out there about grit, and basically what it boiled down to is the data shows that people that will stick it through to learn what they need to learn and do whatever they need to do to win always outperform anybody else. So you can be an elite private school kid that goes to an average school, and someone that didn't have any of that education will outperform you simply because they have grit. And so I really tried really hard with my kids to instill this idea that we're going to keep pushing through, and not to a completely unrealistic level. There's a point where you're just out of your league and you need to go back to the beginning and start over, but then start over and push through.
Yeah.
How about you, JJ? What's your first item?
Well, I think for me the first item is sort of kind of like that, the idea of grit, and that's failure is just a part of the process. It's something we talked a few episodes ago about what our parents taught us, and that's one of the things my mom taught me, is that failure is just part of the process. I was actually watching this thing on SpaceX, a documentary. I'm a documentary geek on SpaceX, and how Elon Musk had 4 chances to get his rocket up, and on the 4th try he got it up. And you always hear the things about how Albert Einstein, fell 1,000 times before he, invented the light bulb. And I think that's true in life. So sometimes, don't give up just because you don't succeed the first time or the second time or the third time or 4th time. Just keep trying to endure, keep trying to work at things. And sometimes in life, things fall into our lap, and sometimes we just have to work extra hard for them, and that's okay. And I think that what is true defining of our character is the fact that how do we feel, how do we look when we don't continue to give up? So for me, it's kind of along the same lines. It's just failure's not the end.
No, and I think along those lines, that's kind of my next one, is never stop learning, right? Is that at the end of the day, there's always something you can learn, something more, something you can get better. And my thing with this whole writing deal, right? Yeah. I wrote a book, threw it out there, didn't know what I was doing. Got some good feedback from some smart people that said it was horrible, and they were right. So I learned, right? And then came back around, and it was still kind of horrible, but for different reasons. So I learned something the first time. Did some more work, and finally I got a product that's really nice. It's something that lots of people like, and it's clear that I upped my game, but I had to keep learning. And every time I talk to somebody in the industry, I'm just a baby. I mean, even though I've been kind of messing around with this for 10 years, I've been really serious for about 3, and so, I got another 10 years before I really know anything as far as I'm concerned. But it's that idea that you can always learn something from somebody, even if you feel like you're the expert. There's something to learn out there. How about you, JJ?
I think one of the things that my grandmother taught me, my grandmother was an old school Southern Baptist woman, and was a homemaker all her life. And one of the things she taught me was just how to serve her family. And she loved to cook breakfast and Thanksgiving and dinners for her family. She loved it when family came over. And she would work endlessly just to serve her family. And so I think that's one of the things that, I want to teach my kids is the fact that service is a good thing, and serving others is a good thing, especially when it's your family. My favorite verse in the Bible comes from Galatians 6:10, where Apostle Paul is telling the churches around Galatia, hey, therefore as you have opportunity, do good to all people, especially to those in the household of faith. And I think that serving within the local church is something I really want to teach my kids. So yeah, it's the idea of service.
No, I think that's a good one. I think my last one really is that God is in control. And that's an interesting thing. You know, when I was younger, I made a lot of plans and had a lot of ideas of my own, and things just never worked out the way I thought.
Yeah.
I just be honest. There's nothing about where I'm at in this world, like the fact that I'm in this Courtyard Marriott that I'm in right now. I don't know that was something I had on my plan, you know, to even 2 weeks ago necessarily. But God's in control. He puts you where he needs to put you, when he needs to put you. And sometimes you got to just take a step back and go, okay, I get that I'm here for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but I'm here. So what am I going to do with it? And I think, you know, there's lots of examples of that in my life where that's happened. But it's super important that, you know, I'm just not in control. That God's got a plan, and sometimes you got to work through some horrible stuff, and sometimes you get really cool things happen. So, how about you, JJ? Any closing thoughts?
My last one is this idea of balance. You know, there's so many things that we do in life. You know, from work to church to family, and at times one can seem to overwhelm. And I think we try to put our lives in different compartments, and sometimes that's not necessarily healthy, because I think there needs to be this synergy where they all fit together, and we need to learn to have balance between work, balance between family, balance between what we're doing and serving at the church, and not overwhelming ourselves in one area or the next. Sometimes work becomes demanding for a period of times, and that's okay. But at other times, family becomes demanding, and we need to focus there. But it's just this delicate idea of balance, and I want my kids to learn that, because that's something that really took me a long time to learn.
Oh, I totally get it. I mean, when I go back to school, when you're trying to work through school and study and all that, that can be all-consuming. And when I was studying nuclear energy, I had a favorite food that helped me through that time. Do you know what it was?
No, what was it?
Fission chips.
Fish and chips. Alright, let me close this out with this one. Do you know which one of Santa's reindeer likes to clean the most?
I don't know. Which one of Santa's reindeer likes to clean the most?
Comet.
Nice. Comet.
I think I've redeemed myself.
Yeah.
I think that was a good one.
That was a good one. That's great. All right, anyway, I'm Alan.
And I'm JJ.
And this has been Two Dads and a Joke. We'll catch y'all next time.
See ya.